What's up, guys? Happy Friday. 2 in, 2 weeks.
We're doing it.
4 to go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got one more week and then spring break.
Yep. Lots of good stuff out there. Make sure you check out, if you're in my IB class, check out the classroom for Novelli's News Friday stuff. He had some good stuff. Make sure you read that article that he talks about at the end from The Atlantic. We had a lot of great stuff come through on the check-in. Really good True Story Friday ideas. I like Chloe Wilson's. She wants to know a little bit about what being a parent was like in terms of the things we didn't see coming. We might tell some stories next week about that. One of the more recent ones that came in was from Janae Nepenius, and she had said, maybe something about Nigeria and craziness, similar to what we're experiencing right now. And immediately what came to my mind was the day I almost got arrested in Lagos, Nigeria, for not following my boss's instructions, sort of.
Not sort of. He didn't listen to his bosses or the Nigerian government's recommendations.
Yeah. So once upon a time, Lagos, Nigeria as a nation was about to have their very first peaceful transition of power. The very first time that an election happened that was not where the society was not under duress by a military leader or a dictatorship. It was going to be the very first legitimate election. And Nigeria had this thing that they would do every now and then. They would just declare no movement. Everyone stops. And so they'd have to cancel schools. They would have to, and sometimes it would happen like the day before. You'd get told, hey, for the next week, nobody's moving. And so it is very similar to kind of what we're experiencing right now, only this would be for like a census or an election.
And the only people that were supposed to be moving had to move by foot, right?
Yes.
And they had to go to the nearest booth, and they had to go straight there, do whatever it was that they were doing, like voting, and then go straight back. So they could only be people who were from the country.
Mm-hmm. Which I was not.
That were supposed to be moving outside of their houses or apartments.
And so my buddy David, Joseph, and I were sitting by the pool at our school. It was kind of also where we lived, in the apartments. And we were bored. And we're like, what would be a really great idea is to go and take pictures of Lagos, Nigeria with nobody in it. Because we're talking about a city of like 17 million people with nobody doing anything. And my buddy Dave is like, yeah, let's do it. And Joseph's like, I'll get my camera. I'm like, I'll get my camera. And so we run up to our apartments, we get our cameras, we come back down to the pool, we tell our spouses, hey, we'll be right back. We're just going to go out and take some pictures. And then my boss, Mr. Shear, says, hey, don't do anything stupid out there. This is a really bad idea. I better not have to come bail you out. And I'm like, come on, boss, we got this.
Hashtag foreshadowing.
So we go out, we start taking some pictures. Somebody captures this picture right here, which I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's me pretending to be a police officer. So this is where, like, poor decision making, like, there should have been for us, like, hey, we probably shouldn't do this.
It should have happened earlier at the very beginning. Like, when they were thinking of it, they should have been like, oh, this is a horrible idea. No, let's not do this. Instead. So
this white dude, it's a weebo, they used to call us. I think they still do probably. Just standing in a police booth, just mocking thing. It's just dumb, terrible. And so we're walking around, and we finally get back close to our school, and there's a polling station. And I can't believe my eyes, because in the polling, basically people will walk up, they would put their thumbprint on next to the face of the candidate, maybe the party or something like that, and then they would put their ballot in the ballot box. And so I walk up to this polling station, and there's police officers there with AK-47s, and I'm like, I gotta get a picture. I gotta get a picture of this. This is crazy. And the person's like, hey, no photos. And I'm like, yeah, no worries. I won't take one. And then I took 2. They heard the second photo, so I had it around my neck, and I just kind of rested my finger on the shutter, and then it clicked, and one of the officers heard it, and they lost their minds. They grabbed me, they took my camera off of my neck, and it was all sorts of craziness. Meanwhile, Joseph takes off running. He goes back to the compound to get our guards, because our guards got guns too. So let's go. Let's shoot it out, we were thinking. No, we weren't actually thinking that. But we definitely needed some Nigerians there to help us, because at this point they're speaking in Yoruba or Igbo or one of the languages I couldn't understand. And I'm in big trouble, it feels like. And so they're like fighting. The police officers are fighting over the camera, and I'm like, hey, give me my camera. And they're like, no, you snap picture, you snap photo. I said, I didn't take a picture. I did, but I was lying. It's a terrible character choice there. And then all of a sudden my boss shows up. And my boss is incredible. He walks up and he goes, who's running the show here? And all the officers looking at each other like, I'm not running the show. You running the show? I don't run the show. You run it? No. And then my boss says, no, like, who's the boss? I'm only talking to the leader here. And they're like, sir, our sergeant's on the way. Our sergeant's on the way. And at this point, my boss, this is his second tour of duty in Nigeria, he knows the system. He's like, why you got the camera? Give me my camera. That camera's for the kids. That camera's for the school. And he takes the camera, and they just give it to him. And I was like, that's all it took? And so I remember they wanted to find the film. They were like, where's the film? And I'm like, there's no film in the camera, because it was a digital camera, but they thought it was a film camera. And so they're like trying to find the film door on the thing. And I'm like, there's no film in it. And then I remember one of the officers was like, see, there's no film. Give him the camera back. And so I was walking back, and my boss is like, he's using choice language with me. He was just a little frustrated that I had defied his wishes.
Was he a little bit frustrated? I think if he was a little bit frustrated, he may not have used choice language.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is, when older people they clearly have your best interest in mind and they give you some advice, you should probably heed it, because they're not liars. Mm-hmm. And so there's our True Story Friday.
And when a place calls for no movement, it's for a really important, good reason, and you could get yourself or others hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, almost got arrested. I didn't, thankfully. That would have been really bad. Yeah, Nigeria's no joke. Lagos is no joke. It's a very difficult place to live, but great people though, amazing people, and I'd love to go back again someday and teach there again, but not for a while, because we're in Sumner and really enjoying it. You guys are our family. We miss you. We're looking forward to getting to see you guys again. And hey, next week, you think they know the news about what they get to start doing next week?
I don't know.
They get to start learning again.
Ah!
New material. Hey! If you have not made up your time right yet, there are 2 of you left out there. You might want to get that. You need to email me, actually. You've been dodging my emails. And no, that's not good. Grades go out next week. We submit our grades next week, I should say. And I don't want to have to put Fs out there on seniors. So, hey, get your time rights. And at least email me so we can come up with a contingency plan for you. But other than that, everyone else, I miss you. Again, we love you, and we wish you just a great restful week.